What's going on, everyone? It's Sam Gooding here, and welcome to PC Building Simulator. So, this game is really freaking awesome. I've been playing it for the past couple weeks, and pretty much it's a really good scale to real-life computer building. And currently I'm in the free build mode, which is like a sandbox for you to use any parts from the real world. Yes, there are like real companies in here, such as NVIDIA, AMD, and all that good stuff. And if you look on here, there's a part ranking system on this computer that I built beforehand. So this part picker says that the best graphics card is the 3090 024G by Republica Gamers, and the best CPU right now is the AMD Ryzen 9 16 core. Also, I built this computer right here, which actually scored higher than that one. So I guess don't judge a book by its cover, but this thing is like... I wanted to test around earlier with really small cases, and this one looks like freaking Bumblebee from the Transformers. And I just tried to make it as good as possible. I think I have like what? Yeah, it's a 3090 in there, yeah, and a 16-core processor. But enough with that. Right now in this video, we're gonna be trying to make the biggest, the baddest, coolest looking, and best performing computer out there. So the first thing we need is obviously a case, and as you can see, there's like different types of sizes, like mid, towers, and micros. But today we're going to be going for a super tower. Now I think I'm going to go with the Thermaltake View 91 RGB. The Ragentech is also really cool because it can fit 2 water reservoirs, but there's no point since I'm only going to be water cooling my CPU and not my GPU because the 3090 doesn't support water cooling just yet. So we're going to go with the Thermaltake because it is huge and it looks real nice. Now the only issue I have with this case is that there's just too many drive bays. You're not going to need that much storage on a gaming computer. We're going to have a lot, but we just don't need all of this because it doesn't really look that good. So once that's out, we're also going to get rid of these case fans because I do plan on getting different ones that are Corsair and they look all nice. But before we get to that, we obviously need to look for a good motherboard. Now, what I want to look for is obviously an AM4 slot so that we could get the Ryzen 9 16 core. And also I want a fast motherboard. So first off, I'm going to search up AM4. And I want one that can handle a fast RAM, such as this. I think this motherboard is perfect. It has the RGB lights, supports 4,600 MHz RAM speed, and has an AM4 socket, so we're going to install that right away. Alright, and now I'm going to put in our processor, which is right here, Ryzen 9 16 core 5950X. This thing is insane, so we're going to put that in the socket and kind of leave it there for now. Now I want to install the memory, so we're going to open up these clips. Alright, I'm going to be going for the G.Skill Trident Z 4000 MHz 16 GB sticks because they're going to give a lot of RAM and also really fast RAM, 4000 MHz being very fast. So we're just going to install all of this. And now I'm going to remove these fan covers for now, and I'll add them back later. Alright, now I'm going to get rid of these dust filters. I'm not going to get rid of this one. Because the power supply is going to go there, so there's no point. But now comes our SSDs. So I'm obviously going to go for M.2 drives, and the bigger the better. So 2 TB M.2 drives by ADATA, and I'm going to put in both of those, which are $440. Oh my god. That's like an entire PlayStation 4, but who even uses PlayStation 4 anymore? Like, come on. Alright, so we're not going to forget the thermal paste. We put that on there. And now I'm just going to put our CPU block down. I won't put down our reservoir just yet, but I'm just going to leave that on there to finish up our motherboard. Alright, now I just kind of want to install our storage, which is really easy. I'm going to go for the 4 TB Seagate ones. Alright, so we installed all of our storage. This should be around 24 TB of storage, which is, I mean, more than enough. Too much, most would argue, but I mean, who really cares? More the merrier. Now I'm going to install our graphics card. So this is a really cool one right here, the Asus ROG. This one performs the fastest, also has really nice lighting on it. So first we have to get rid of these PSI slots. And I think we're going to put in dual graphics cards for better performance. Alright, there we go. Both graphics cards installed. And I'm going to put some of these covers back up because I accidentally got rid of that one. Alright, now that pretty much everything's on our motherboard, I'm going to put in the power supply. Now, I could have gone for the 1,600 watts power supply, but the issue is that if I put that down, I won't be able to put a 140mm fan over here. But as you can see, with a 1,200 watt power supply, I could just slide it right on top of there and be able to put down all my fans. And 1,200 watts is overkill anyways. I can literally overclock both of these graphics cards and my CPU, and it would be more than enough power to supply this entire thing. Alright, so now I'm going to put in the reservoir. And I like this 250 millimeter one because it's nice and tall. The pipes are in the front, so it's not very confusing. And I think for radiators, I could fit like a 4-slot right here. But the only 4-slot radiator doesn't have RGB, so we're kind of, I think I'm just gonna go for the 3 radiator, the one with 3 on it instead. It'll be more than enough cooling with all these fans on the bottom, the top, and the side, and it'll definitely look cooler. So I'm just gonna install the rest of the case fans now. So yeah, I'm gonna be going with this Corsair LL RGB fans, the 140 millimeter ones on the bottom to suck out hot air, and then I'll be putting fans on the top to bring in nice fresh air for the graphics cards. Alright, so now we're just finishing up putting the stuff back onto the case, and now we just gotta plug everything in. So for the actual colors of this computer, I think I'm gonna go with a nice red for the entire machine. I feel like I'm gonna go for the similar coloring of the profile picture, which has like a really nice red background, so we're probably gonna do that for the entire computer and all the RGB lights. Alright, now that everything's plugged in, we need to do the piping now. So first off, I'm gonna connect this one there. Oh, whoops. I don't want to do those flimsy pipes. I want the rigid ones so that it looks better. Alright, I think our piping actually looks pretty good. Now we just gotta fill this with coolant, and I'm probably gonna, I mean, obviously the red coolant. And that's gonna cool down our CPU very well. And then after, we're gonna hook up all the RGB, and then we're gonna 3D mark this, and obviously do some overclocking, test how well this thing runs, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Alright, time for the moment of truth. We're gonna turn everything on. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that RGB. That's fully red. We got our Windows startup E-Rape in the background. Yeah, I really like the red color on this. We got our dual 3090s. That CPU block is really nice looking too. And are these fans. God damn. Alright, so I got everything installed onto this computer. Now we're also gonna overclock our GPU. I'm gonna do it pretty much all the way. Like, our cooling in there is kind of insane, so it should be fine. Let's test if it overheats or not. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's not very good. Oh god. Alright, so I was wrong. Let's turn that down a bit. I'm gonna bring it to 110 megahertz. Keep the voltage at around 40%. Let's see if that runs fine. Alright, our GPU 1 temp is pretty high, but let's just forget about that. I mean, as long as it's not blue screening on us, that's all I'm really worried about, so. Alright, we're gonna run 3D Mark now and see how we do. Alright, and as you can see, we're running 3D Mark at around 196 frames? Yep, 196 frames per second. 3D Mark obviously being a really, really good benchmark for computers. This is gonna end up being like a really, really nice score. Okay, and there's our score. 27,014. Graphics score being 31,207. There's our CPU score. Yeah, that is insane. That is, like, if you were to benchmark your own computer right now, I would bet you all my V-Bucks on www.fortnite.org that your benchmark will not end up higher than that. That's pretty crazy. But now the ultimate question is, will it run Overwatch? Okay, that really is more important. Okay, yeah, that it just destroys the recommended spec. But yeah, that's gonna be it for our video, guys. This is our computer that we ended up with. I think it looks pretty damn good. Oh, wait a minute, we gotta close the back panel. Oh, okay, there we go. I think it looks pretty damn good. You know, this is a bit insane, like being at $9,000. You don't need to spend this much money on a good computer, but I mean, it's kind of fun to go overkill in this game. But that's why you guys should definitely check it out, because you can kind of just do whatever you want PC building wise when it comes down to this. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this game, and let me know what other games you want to see in the future. See you guys. Peace.